So good evening. Just for the annals of history, it is the 1st of November 2023, and therefore it's the start of what I feel will be
Countdown to Christmas.
generally considered Doctor Who month for all time evermore. Everything's dropped on iPlayer. We've already watched Ep.1, ostensibly, of the Time Meddler with this new TARDIS Tales. I've cried at that for no discernible reason. And there's general massive levels of hype which are rising and rising. But I don't want to lose track of the Whoathon, so here we are again, just a few days after finishing the case for Zani, with the new Doctor and the Twin Dilemma. Okay, so I want to hit this story afresh. I want to tackle this without any cause for knowledge of general.
Well, I've never seen it, so I'm definitely prepped.
And Libby's providing me with a brand new take on this as we go. So if you are in any way a Doctor Who fan, you'll know what the received perception of this story is. So let's move forward from there. Okay, right.
The video would pause then.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's talk about this new Doctor. So, well, this is bold, isn't it? I mean, this is quite dramatic. If we think about all our first stories, and I talked to Castrovalva, Davison's first story, so long ago now, and I said that I'm a bit sick to death of this ambling about post-regenerative trauma thing. There is some justification for it here because it's an unusual regeneration. That's not made explicit actually within the story. I think fan lore has maybe lent into that. But certainly this is the most extreme. This is the most, to use a term in a layman's way, schizophrenic the Doctor has been post-regeneration. And I think that's bold. I'm going to use that word a lot, aren't I? I do actually think it's slightly problematic, though, because we've only just met Perry, and with the best will in the world, she's a bit moany at the moment. And as a result, I don't have no desire to see anybody strangled by the Doctor, ever. But on the flip side, I certainly don't want... I don't know... Like, I really care about these characters, obviously, but I don't know quite how the programme wants me to feel when the Doctor's acting so peculiarly. And then to compound matters, when the Doctor realises that he's tried to strangle his companion, who, let's be honest, he's just spent 4 episodes going through the most excruciatingly awful situations to save, there's very little sense of repentance in terms of Perry. It's all very self-centred. She says this towards the end. Now, I do think there are some moments where this new Doctor is shining a little bit, and I think there's some sense of some of the comedy and the bluster and the bravado that we can underplay. But I'm not getting much sense of you need to burst the bubble to really get the fun out of that. And there's a lot of things working against that. I think the music's terrible. Now, I don't talk about the music all that often. I don't listen to incidental music in TV programmes outside of the TV programmes. The music in this is abysmal, and it's doing nothing to help the audience know how they're supposed to feel. And I think that's a problem. We're in the same TARDIS set, pretty much, and therefore there's very little to go on apart from the music, and it's just not telling us where we should be with this story. So anyway, that's fine, providing we've got other things to keep us occupied with. And the problem there is that the story that is starting in and around the Doctor, well, first of all, the Doctor's had very little relationship with it up until the very last few seconds, which is a pity. Castrovalva, we had a chase. The Master was on the scene. Big news. Robot, we had Unit to drag us through that situation. The same goes for Spearhead from Space. There's nothing here for us to lean into, aside from our knowledge of the Doctor and how he's already. And that's kind of been had the rug pulled under us because it's a brand new Doctor. So the story we've got appears to have Romulus and Remus, they're twins, if you hadn't guessed, who are really clever and do play funny games with equations, which they're nerds, so fine. Then old man abducts them. This is child abduction. We should not be playing around with child abduction lightly, but fine. There's some weird bird people, and then what will be revealed to be a giant slug. That's a lot. That's a lot to contend with.
There's a slug in the bathroom.
There's a slug in the bathroom. You won't want to see that slug. No, I know that slug. These slugs, they're mean. The other thing that's really struck with me is, right, the police station, right, has got like 1970s faux wood on the walls. It just looks really, really weird. I don't know what planet we're supposed to be on. It just really drew my mind. Really, I was like, why have you got this decor?
They were organising a really important mission.
With
Why
really,
are you looking at the wall?
with really awful dialogue as well. What's the time factor?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's like draw a perimeter.
How long ago? It's needless.
Space talk.
It's needless space talk. Yeah, I don't need needless space talk. I need to care about these kids.
Tautology.
I don't need needless space talk. Yes, it's tautology. Right. Okay. So listen, this isn't helped, and I promised myself I was going to do this, but it needs saying, and I think any Doctor Who fan who is aware of the DWM polls over the last few years will have a vague idea of what I'm going to say here. The last story that we've seen, which we've discussed in great depth, for all its virtues, one of the things that's great about it is it's so resolute in what it's trying to achieve. Every aspect of the production seems to lean in towards the telling of this absolutely phenomenal story, and everything plays with each other beautifully to drive us towards a goal. At the moment, the Twin Dilemma feels aimless. It doesn't feel as if there's anything dragging all these parts together to make sense of it.
Because like in a different story, you'd be like, well, that's intriguing because this is happening and this is happening. I think it was down on it. I'm not getting any of that.
Really? Tell me what you think, nice and loud so we can hear.
I think it's intriguing. It's a nice regeneration story.
Right.
I like the fact that the Doctor's got a bit of edge. I like it when they do things like picking an outfit. Do you know, I've got a vague memory of that from being a child as well.
Yeah.
Just picking outfits. So I like that. I like the dynamic with Perry because she sort of wants to impress him, but also really hates him. She wants to love him and be friendly, but then she thinks he's an arrogant bumhole.
Yeah.
And it's a sort of, I don't know, is it like a father figure? Is it like a friend? Yeah, I think that's quite sweet. It's making me like Perry more.
Really?
I like the fact she's changed her clothes.
Yes.
She's a hot lady.
Okay,
Which is
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
I suppose. And then I don't like the birdie outfits. As
Don't
soon
like
as I
the
saw
birds.
them, I just thought, what the actual real life hell is going on there?
They do look a bit weird.
I think the commander from the police sort of station thing is a
Haircut.
little bit mumsy.
Yeah.
Like when she's saying, I want this, she's just like...
And may
yeah.
my bones rot for obeying the order.
Yeah, not massively impressed with her. But I'm curious to know what happens next.
Good.
And I don't know whether the Remus and Romulus are goodies or baddies. Why did you say it like that?
I don't know. In my head, they're always Romulus and Remus. You use it Remus and Romus.
Well, that's their names.
I know, yeah, I'm totally with you. What was with the little green things on their wrists as well? Very odd. I'm really pleased that you said that because I really don't want to get off on the bad foot with this Doctor. And I think, like I said, past perceptions do weigh me down when we do this. But there we go. Fine. And great new costume as well. Anybody who is looking for getting me a Christmas present, if Colin Baker coats are available, then I will wear it constantly. And my wife is looking forward to this day. I really like the way the cuffs match the trousers as well. Absolutely brilliant. I love the Colin Baker coat. It's my favourite thing ever. Happy Doctor Who month. Genuinely, I mean, this feels like a very prolonged and amazing Christmas. I'm going to start reading lots of Doctor Who books soon when I've finished the book I'm currently on. I'll tell you about them as I go. Good times. Good times. Cheery bye.